Hi, welcome to Texas Lone Wolf MGHOW for your source for Red Pill Truth. Today we are going to discuss a very important, controversial topic. Okay, now this was created this year, 23 Traits of a Sigma Male. You know, I mean, people they just over here say, "Dang, what is a Sigma male? What makes that man different?" All right. So what makes him different? In this article, we're going to talk about Sigma male and the personal characteristics that makes him unique. All right. Pop culture's understanding of masculinity leans heavily toward archetypes. So anybody say, "Oh, I don't want to talk about the labels." Well, we're going to talk about the labels. All right. So if the alpha male is in an archetype and the charge that beta male is the one rather follow than lead, where does the sigma male fit into the picture? Now you wanna go ahead and so now you want to do you want to understand what a sigma male is? What's a sigma male? A sigma male is a term to describe a man who is successful, charming, quiet, and highly self-reliant. Right there, you see. So sigma males are the lone wolves. They possess many of the alpha characteristics, but with a twist. And some facts even argue this archetype is superior to the alpha because of its special combination of personality traits. So, what exactly is a sigma male? So, what does he know about himself and others around him? All right. How much do you know about this emerging style of masculinity? What follows are 23 qualities of a sigma male. He is known as the lone wolf. The sigma male embodies a lone wolf mentality. He prefers his own company to that of others. He tends to go his own way. MGHOW. Don't that ring a bell? MGHOW? Okay. He is not influenced by social norms, but possesses a steady internal compass that guides him. And to anybody who is in a church or a religious organization that calls lone wolves sons of the devil or sons of Satan should be ashamed of themselves. Why am I saying that? Well, if you're a Christian, as to going to say this, the lone wolf is preferably referenced in the Bible, but in other words, in other terms, so to speak. Well, what do you mean, Texas Lone Wolf MGHOW? What do you mean by that? Well, I'll tell you what I mean. Take a look at this, for example. Now, open up one of your books in the New Testament, either Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. He went to Garden of Gethsemane all alone and prayed to the Father. Okay? Alone. And he prayed deeply, and the sweat fell from his face, landed on the rock, became his blood. Alone. So enough chat, okay? Let's go ahead and dig more. He's not looking for attention or societal accolades. He just does his own thing and doing it so well you can't help but notice him anyways. He's highly self-reliant. It what makes him so. That's what makes him stand out. You see, lone wolves don't give a damn what anybody outside of social hierarchies thinks or says or do. You see where I'm going at with this? Because he's highly independent. He's also self-reliant. This is not a man who thinks housework means only includes taking out the trash and loading the dishwasher. Whoa. The Sigma male is a man capable of cooking, cleaning, managing his myriad responsibilities. What makes it look so easy? He's even capable of breaking rules to get to success. He will get to success if he got to break the rules of the company, society, or whatever. He's going to get to success. It's plain and simple. He's going to reach that one goal. He's going to put a check mark on it. He's going to go to the next one, work on that one, check mark. In relationship, he's not looking for someone to mother him, but an equal partner who is just as capable and self-reliant. So yes. So you got all these different personalities. They think they can get a Sigma lockdown. Nope. It takes a particular one that's equal to him, that's self-reliant, and is capable of being, independent, self-reliant, and look for that equal partner. They just want to be equal. Did you know that? Boy, this is getting really good. We're going to dig deep into this. He's the adventurer. The Sigma male tends to be a bit of a wanderer. It's what I am. I like to get some money and I like to go traveling out of town and go places I ain't never been to see places. He embraced the comfort of hearth and home and tends to be an adventurer. He's brave and faces risk calmly in his knowledge. Hungry heart, always on the lookout for new information to absorb. You know what? Sigma males like to sit in the back and listen and observe and take in information. New perspective, new places, different culture, all arouses the Sigma male's interest and curiosity. Oh, yes. Here's something else, too. So, also take note, he's an introvert. Unlike Sigma male is an introvert. He prefers quiet solitude over crowds of people, although he can fit into any social group. You don't think of him as an everyday individual. Oh man, he looks outgoing, but actually he's not. He's looking around. He's listening. And he needs time and space to think his own thoughts and contemplate the meaning of life. There's nothing wrong with that. But the so-called church people, they call lone wolves many names. Oh, I don't want to hear what Satan's got to say. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear that. Because they don't fit the church narrative or church brainwashing program, whatever you call it. And to those Christians out there who like to go out and point their fingers at the introverts and tell them they're doing wrong of this and wrong of that, you never actually got a chance to sit down to get to, we're introverts. We don't open up just about everybody just in the soul-saving business. So if you come in like a tail of a hun and demand to brainwash an introvert, you're in for a surprise. Did you know that? He needs time, okay, but don't mistake him for a broder. He may be the strong and silent type, but that's not because he sits around and sulks. No, we don't sit around and sulk. We are thinking about ways of, we're playing stuff in our mind and looking at things from a different outside in. Instead, he's happy to do his own thing, enjoy his own company, and not need outside validation or stimulation from others. Very interesting, isn't it? He's comfortable in his own skin. You may have noticed that Sigma males are highly confident. That's because they are comfortable in their own skin, unlike alphas, don't need to receive outside accolade or validations. He likes who he is, and better still, knows who he is and what he is about radiates from within him. It's not, he doesn't have a normal human insecurity. He just doesn't dwell on them. He's quite happy with himself. He influences others. While Sigma male doesn't take on the alpha's leadership roles, he still manages to influence other people. He tends to be a trendsetter without even trying. You know, have you ever heard the expression, I want to be like you? I just turn around and look at the person and I say, you know, I'm walking my own road. I don't know where I'm headed. I don't know who I'm going to meet. I'm just doing my own thing in life. You see? Because he's so easygoing and likable, people want to be like him. You see, you cannot. Listen, people. You may have stumbled on this channel just by wanting to know, you know, hey, what the heck is a Sigma male? What is he? What does he do? What is he like? Listen, the Sigma male comes in different nationalities, different faith, different background, different walk of life, and different everything. So we're not one size fit all. We are unique. We prefer our own company. We apply the logic of finding solution to problems. Oh, yes. This is where it gets interesting. He doesn't play by anyone's rules but his own. In other words, he marches at the beat of his own drum. He has his own style. Did you know that? He has his own style. The Sigma man has a reputation for being rebellious, but rebellion implies he is reacting to other people or outside events he's not. The Sigma male doesn't care about society's rules and norms, so he's not rebelling when he makes a decision that falls outside of typical behavior for his peers. He's just being himself, making up his own rules for his life. You may even notice he's happier. He's not following everyone's timeline but his own. His life is richer for it. Very interesting, isn't it? He doesn't care about what other people think of him. So you look at a introverted man who's walking alone. You call him names. He don't give a damn what you call him, as long as you're not in this way. He generally doesn't care what other people think of him. A Sigma male isn't insensitive. He doesn't make decisions based on what other people would do in his situation. Instead, he trusts his intuition and is guided by his own thoughts, feelings, and experience. Because he's a seeker of knowledge, he'll do his own independent research to be well informed rather than relying on social media or YouTube videos or to inform his thinking. Basically, he's a see it to believe it type person. Alrighty? He's one of those types. He wants to see it to believe it. Number 9, he's emotionally intelligent. Far from being insensitive, the lone wolf archetype is highly emotional, intelligent. He's not always socially intelligent since a crowd of people aren't his thing, but he is emotionally astute. He can read the room like no other. He's quite good at helping mediate conflicts once he intuitive knows what to say and do to diffuse a situation. We're known as problem solvers. We're known as conflict resolvers. Very, very interesting, isn't it? He avoids drama. He'll stand up for other people and even help de-escalate the conflict when he can. In relationships, the Sigma male is sensitive to his partner's needs, while the Alpha may engage in relationship power struggles. The Sigma male has no need to do this. This is what makes him so unique. Check this out. He understands all relationships require balance and has the sensitivity to figure out what's best to nurture the people in his life without having to be told what they want or need. He's highly self-motivated and driven. Sigma male may not get the societal credit that alpha male does, but don't think he's not as ambitious. He may not care about climbing corporate ladders to get to corner office or reaching the other key leaderships, but that doesn't mean he's not working hard at reaching goals. He's self-motivated, has his internal drive to meet his own standards. His goals may not be typical, but you can be sure whatever they are, he's working toward them diligently, often quietly behind the scenes. If you see this type of person, they're very intellectual. Number 11, he's successful. Because the Sigma male is self-motivated and driven, there's no real surprise that he is also successful in all he does. In fact, he's often equally as successful as the alpha male without trying to compete or elevate himself. He works hard, plays hard, enjoys his life, and it shows. So if you try to commit, trying to give a someone a compliment, he's going to look at you like you're weak. He's going to say there's something wrong with you. But if you want to become good friends with a Sigma male, you have to earn his trust. And remember, it's like original chocolate candy. Once it's molded, you can't mold it back to the original shape. You got to rebuild it all over again. And he may not trust you, you see. He shies away from commitment. While Sigma male is emotionally astute and often emotionally available, this doesn't mean he's looking for commitment. In fact, Sigma male may keep things casual because he values his space and freedom. Get that? He may not be interested in commitment because he's emotionally intelligent. He'll tell you if this is the case. It's not something he'll hide to manipulate you. Nope. This doesn't mean a Sigma male never commits. He's just highly selective about partners he chooses. If he does prefer a relationship, he'll take his time to make sure he's choosing someone who is compatible with his lifestyle. "13, he's incredibly charming. One of the first things you may notice about a Sigma male is his charm. It's not obvious as more gregarious alpha male. He's also there the same. The Sigma male has a magnetic presence. His emotional intelligence serves him well. When he joins a social situation, he may not follow all the social norms, but he will charm you nonetheless. 14, he's somewhat mysterious. Maybe his unwillingness to commit or his lone wolf tendency, but the Sigma male seems a bit mysterious. His desire for solitude or contemplation could lend the air of mystery and make him seem a bit off limits, thus more desirable. Because he doesn't settle down quickly or really settle at all, he can just seem like a puzzle to solve. He's not trying to be mysterious, though. It's just a side effect of his wonderful self-assurance. Also, take notice. He's a great listener. When the alpha male dominates the conversation, the beta male sits back and waits for his turn. The sigma male has perfected the art of listening and truly listening. He's not waiting for his turn to talk. He's actually hearing what you're saying as well as reading between the lines. He gives you his undivided attention while he's doing it, and can make you feel like the only person in the room. Oh yes. He's capable of leadership, but doesn't seek it out. The Sigma male has all the qualities of a great leader, but is not the one to seek out attention or leadership. He's more like a hero in the film whose responsibility thrust on him, but rise to the occasion. The Sigma male is more likely to lead by example, leading without even trying to do it. He's setting trends and influencing others. He's not interested in dominating anyone else. He'd much rather collaborate and see everyone succeed rather than one who stands out and takes all the credit. Are you listening? Number 17. Are you ready for this one? He values equality. This type of man is strong believer in equality. He's not into social hierarchy, even though he's often placed on it in an equal place to the alpha. Just to let you know, the alphas are intimidated by the sigmas. Don't know why, but they are intimidated by the sigmas. He doesn't think of people in terms who's better and who is worse. He's just not that kind of person. He treats other people with respect and dignity he wants to be treated with. You will never find a Sigma male talking down to servers at a restaurant or people who picked up his garbage. He adapts easily. The Sigma male can slide into social scenarios have seemed comfortable. Not because he loves socializing either. He just adapted that easily. He reads the room and figures out who he can vibe with, who he can make it all look so easy. Of course, it's easy to adapt when you genuinely don't care what other people think of you and trust your own inner judgment instead. He's also self-aware. Oh, I worry about you. I worry about you. You're a lone wolf. I worry about you. Let me tell you something, my friend. And when he's self-aware, he knows what the heck is going on around him. But sometimes he'll play dumb to make people just walk away and leave him alone. The difference between the Sigma male and their alpha and beta counterparts is that Sigma male tends to be self-aware. He knows he's not perfect. He's not making his flaws part of the personality that you just have to deal with if you want to be around him. And he works on them. He's doing the deep inner work of owning his baggage, and he's self-aware enough to admit to mistakes and apologize as needed. It's just one more thing that makes him so attractive to others. Yep. He keeps his inner circle small. The lone wolf keeps the small circle small and a bit exclusive. He carefully curates his life, and that people includes the people that are in it. He seeks out people who vibe with him, people who add to his life and tend to expertly avoid energy vampires, people who are cool with using or manipulating others. When he lets you in his inner circle, he's unfailing loyal for life. He may love selectively, but he loves hard. Oh, one other thing, if you go up to him and try to bully him, you may not get the reaction you want. Number 21, he's not aggressive. Unlike alpha male, sigma male's not all that aggressive. He can defend himself when and if becomes necessary. He doesn't think that violence is the answer. He's great at de-escalating situations simply by remaining calm and talking it out. He also has no desire to entering a pissing contest with anyone else. He's happy to compete with himself to reach a new personal best. He has no desire to show up, show out, dominate anyone in his life. He's not built that way. 22, he's authentic. The Sigma male isn't embracing a particular persona. He's entirely himself. His authenticity shines through what he says and who he is. He's not trying to impress you or make you like him. He's just sincere. You know you can trust him, depend on him, because he's not just a manipulator. He will tell it like it is, and you might just love it or hate this about him, depending on what he says. They can come off rude or they can come off cocky, but he means what he says and says what he means. Number 23, he's open-minded. This type of man is incredibly open-minded. He's not all that into judging other people. In fact, he's so empathetic. He can easily see other people's perspective, even if they differ from his own. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. He won't try to persuade you to believe like he does, although he would probably be quite good at it. He accepts who you are because he's paying attention and believes that if he can do his thing, you're allowed to do yours too. He's a live and let live kind of guy. It is one of the many admirable traits. He can stay in his lane like no other and still cheer you up in your own and yours. Did you know that? Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and get started in a short summary and a word of caution, all right? Let's get into this. Short summary and a word of caution. The Sigma man defies a typical social hierarchy that tend to put the beta male below the alpha and sorts of type of masculinity even further below that. The lone wolf has many alpha qualities while eschewing attention, leadership, and social norms, entirely preferring solitude to the company of others. Yet he's also sensitive, open-minded, charming, may adapt to any social situation. You may be a Sigma male or have one in your life. Yet, take caution. The title of Sigma male seems to originate from a video game developer and a far-right activist, Vox Day, who has been described as a misogynist and a white supremacist. Listen, we don't hate women, and we're not a white supremacist. While sorting men into archetypes seems so innocent enough, doing so continues our limits, our definition of masculinity. So, are we comfortable continuing to box men into smaller and smaller categories? While it may help us more easily categorize what our people are in our lives, it does give them the freedom to explore what their masculinity or even their humanity means to them. It's so easy to assign labels and overlook individual preference, personality, even humanity. Um, if we assign someone a category of a sigma, are we saying better or worse than an alpha or a beta? Sigma is known to eschew hierarchy and alpha sorted into a prominent one. So, as we explore how society labels it, be sure we're not dehumanizing other people in the process. Sigma male thinks for himself. He enjoys his own company. He is out there living his best life. He may not own the label others give him. He may not even know it exists. He's staying true to himself, staying in his own lane in the process. We could all learn a thing or two from the open-minded, self-reliant Sigma male. Alrighty. So we're going to go ahead and blow this here up. Now, this here was updated on September 20th this year, 2022. Alright. What is a Sigma male? Sigma male definition. Okay, you ready for this? A Sigma male is a man within the socio-sexual hierarchy who chooses to live his life outside the normal social dominance hierarchy structure of society. Sigma male shares many traits common with the alpha archetype through the tendency to walk outside the lines of traditional social dominance. Hierarchy sets them apart and makes them different. In other words, Sigma male is a dominant introvert, and they don't share living places with people. The social archetype of Sigma male is defined above all that by a tendency to forsake traditional social dominance hierarchy of modern society. In other words, what society thinks is so cool and stuff will not be cool to the Sigma. He's just walking his own. He's walking his own path. These men walk more of a solitary path. They're sometimes called lone wolves or wanderers. The Vox Day is okay. See how men and boys relate to one another, organize themselves. Okay. The archetype categories men, who they are, how they behave, what their inclinations are likely to be, how they perceived by women, and anyways. Today we're going to go beyond the Sigma male meaning and answer the pressing question that likely landed you here. Are you a Sigma male? Let's break it down and explain it. What does a Sigma male fit on a social hierarchy? Are you a Sigma male? Take a simple quiz. What motivates a Sigma male? Okay, the Sigma male versus Alpha. Sigmas are not invested in tribal connection. Personality differs between Alphas and Sigma. Which do women prefer? I can't answer their questions. Non-conform. Okay, and here you go. 7 traits is non-conformity, self-sufficiency, independence. They don't need a social hierarchy to thrive. Adaptability, self-priority. They need to be left alone because companionship slows them down. Yep. They don't need attention to thrive, to be invisible. Sigma male, are you Sigma? Are you constantly frustrated by society's obsession with the alpha male? Personally, I don't care. Are you constantly tempted to go against the grain? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm actually in that. Do you legitimately enjoy being alone? Yes, I do. Okay. Benefits of a Sigma male lifestyle. Freedom, attraction, efficiency. Drawbacks of being a Sigma male. They don't have a tribe. The journey can be challenging. Famous Sigma males in the movies, alright? You ain't gonna guess who the first name is. He's well known from Canada. Keanu Reeves, the Doctor Who. The Harbor of the Vikings. Okay, the zodiac signs. Wow. Scorpio, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius. Top 10 Sigma male quotes. Franz Kafka, Jean-Paul Sartre, Wayne Dyer, Aristotle. You know, he made a lot of quotes. Anthony Burgess, Aldous Huxley, William Manchester, Albert Einstein, Arthur Schopenhauer, Nikola Tesla. So take a look at this. Alpha and the Sigma are equal. Alright? They're equal. Sigma male sits on the outside of the hierarchy by his own choice. The exact role of Sigma male archetype in modern society is somewhat hotly debated. For all intents and purposes, it describes a man who goes his own way, living as a lone wolf. The author who wrote this found this term often used in conjunction with MGTOW philosophy, men going their own way. And men who believe in MGTOW movement tend to identify going strongly with the Sigma archetype. But there's also another group of men that's similar to MGTOW. They're similar to this. They're called MGHOW, man going his own way. That's really what I am right there. They see the idea of walking away from social dominance hierarchy, becoming a lone wolf, as synonymous with the MGTOW mandate of walking away from both women and society, which had been, quote, destroyed by feminism, end quote. I didn't say it's just one perspective. You research this. I ain't saying nothing else additional. Despite obvious ideology, the link between Sigma male archetype and MGTOW is not only filtered through which views the true identity of the Sigma male. To get the truly accurate view of exactly how a Sigma fits in a modern social hierarchy, pull the lens back, take a look at how different male archetype fits together. Okay, there's a career. I'm going to put this here. You know, this is a so anyways, if an alpha male is the king, he's served with a court filled with beta males, and then Sigma male is traveling bard, storyteller, wanderer who visits the king. He may dine with the king, he may even hold the king's favor. He exploits or successes, while not necessarily well known, he may earn him respect and admiration. He doesn't take a wife instead, he sleeps with his pick of the most beautiful women from the king's court and leaves as quickly as he arrived to continue his journey. Women, are you listening to this video? Do you want to find you a Sigma man, a Sigma male? If you see one who is minding his own business, and he built up his confidence, he's confident with himself. He makes his own rules. He marches at the beat of his own drum. You know? Anyways, unlike the betas, he doesn't lust for the king's power or favor. In fact, he probably truly doesn't care if the king likes it or dislikes him, because those things are meaningless to him as a Sigma. He frees himself from the trappings and challenge of trying to compete with the betas. Alright, are you ready for this? Why? Because once again, he doesn't care enough about the social dominance hierarchy to bother with securing himself with a place within it. So, take a good look at this. Sigma and Alpha. And here is the Lone Wolf. One of my favorite characters, the Lone Wolf. He appeases no one but himself. Typically avoids the social hierarchy. He's self-sufficient outside of the hierarchy. Independent mentality. Occasionally social. Now, on the other hand, the Alpha, okay, strives to maintain its public image. Competes inside the social hierarchy. Self-sufficient within the hierarchy. Tribe mentality. Extreme social. He'll chat with you and stuff. There's a big difference between Alpha and Sigma right there. I just gave you that right there. The adult man. Unlike the Alpha King, the Sigma has no reason to maintain a certain appearance. He has no incentive to please the masses or appease anyone else's opinion. In other words, if you were to come up to him, well, I don't like that man. Oh, I don't like him. You know what? He doesn't care about what you don't like or what you like. He only cares about his own happiness. Unlike the Alpha King, he has little interest in competing with the social dominance to rise to the top of the social order. With him, he's going to succeed on his own. Get this. The Sigma male willingly forfeits the benefits of the Alpha position. So let's read this together. He does this because he sees the benefits of the Alpha archetype as superior when you filter them for cost and value. Unlike the Alpha archetype, Sigma doesn't have to play political games or run every thought process through a tribe mentality to filter produce the results he wants in life. Get that? He is as self-sufficient as a man can get. Alphas are also self-sufficient. Through part of their sufficiency come from their investments into social dominance hierarchy that they choose to be a part of. That's for the alphas. Get that? So get this. Sigmas are invested in tribal connections. This is very interesting. The alpha males typically spend more resources building tribes, climbing through the hierarchies. As a result, they reap the rewards of a strong tribal connection, resources, and higher social status. Those are typically called extroverts. They're life of the party. The returns on these tribal investments are doubtlessly valuable, but the alpha also takes on a great deal of responsibility, stress, and effort in exchange for these benefits. Now we are going to go through. This is documented along the chimpanzee tribes. Chimpanzee politics at power and shed light on the true nature of natural chimpanzee alpha male archetype in this fashion TED Talk. Okay. Now, I'm telling you, alphas are intimidated by sigmas for many reasons. Because they're equal, but both of them think opposite of each other. This talk may be about chimpanzees, but human alphas aren't so different. Get it? The Sigma male shuns the social responsibility of an alpha, at least in theory. This is true. He sees the resource investment into the tribe as a high risk, low reward. Sigma sees the delicate framework of social dominance hierarchy as a fragile house of cards. That's very smart. That's how come if the world was to actually end, the Sigma male will thrive. He chooses to walk away from it because he sees it as smart, more self-sufficient than hedging his bets on what other unreliable humans may choose to do. In other words, all right, let's go ahead and draw this up to a conclusion. Let's say a pastor of a church is actually an alpha. He's telling the whole flock of sheep the word of God. He's telling everybody the primary example, what the word of God primarily says to do. Okay? You're going by a book that was written over 2,000 years ago, maybe more than that. It's got stories and history and everything, and prophecies included. You know, they want us to live in that, but we live in a different century. We must adapt. So, he chooses to walk away from it. He sees as smarter, more self-sufficient than hedging his bets. So the Sigma male adapts to what's around him. He adapts to the changing around the world. He looks at everything and overthinks on how to make it work in his favor. This is perhaps an oversimplification, but it serves to lay the groundwork for the basis of the Sigma male archetype, how it typically fits with the alpha and beta archetypes. Okay, here we go. The personality difference between the alpha and the beta and the sigma. Alright? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that a sigma male and alpha male also tend to have very different temperaments and personality types. Okay? And these personality types definitely play into which archetype a man will gravitate toward. For example, I'm an alpha male. I intentionally choose this path because of survival. My strong personality trait gives me huge strength in the alpha arena. Alright, for the alphas, I'm highly extroverted. He's the life of the party. He loves to be around people. I have a natural talent for reading people. People energize me. I have a strong natural leadership skills. I have a high emotional intelligence. I am highly empathetic. If I were to walk away from the dominant higher, go my own way as a sigma male, I would fail to maximize return on my most significant personal strength. That's for the alpha. Since people energize me, I would probably be exhausted by a solitary life of a wandering sigma. Well, introverts are very good problem solvers. Sure, these personality traits will all help me as a sigma male, but at the end, after taking my personal strength into account, it's far more valuable use of my natural talents, ability to pursue the path of an alpha. Well, yes. So an alpha just goes out, starts trouble. Trouble will follow him because he's extroverted. And I would be forfeiting my biggest personality type advantage by choosing to walk the path of a sigma. Well, hey, some people are introverted for many reasons. They're introverted. So, and anyways, so we're going to go ahead and discuss what do women prefer. Do you prefer a man to be the alpha or the sigma? That's really up to the woman's choice to decide. So I'm going to make this video here, you know, This is one of the first questions I hear when I talk to an alpha, when I talk about an alpha and sigma archetype. Truth is that both type of men can do extremely well with ladies, I bet, for different reasons. Alpha male has advantages women. Alpha has the highest status power. These are benefits that Sigma males are automatically going to struggle with because both benefits are closely tied to existing at or near the top of the social dominance hierarchy. So, so no secret, women love men with high status and power. Well, there are some out there that are, they do that. For this are the fairly obvious. I believe that David M. Buss described it best in the following quote from the book, "The Evolution of Desire Strategy of Human Mating." Evolutionists favor women who prefer men who possess attributes that confer benefits and who dislike men who possess attributes that impose cost. High status and power confer numerous benefits, so that an alpha male that exists at the top of the social order is automatically at an advantage when it comes to attracting the attention of the highest value women in the tribe. Are you getting this? Sigma male advantages with women. Sigma bring very few of their own advantages to the table. Foremost, Sigmas are characterized by the mystery and fluidity of their solitary life, but they also characterized by how they're impossible to tie down into a normal relationship. Yep. The unattainability or prolonged a secure romantic relationship with a Sigma sets them apart from the betas or even from the alphas to a certain extent. Both these attributes drive women crazy in a good way. All right. In fact, Esther Perel described the relationship between mystery and desire quite poetically in her book Mating in Captivity, Unlocking Erotic Intelligence. Well, I don't know where this love enjoys knowing everything about you, desires, needs mystery. Love likes to shrink the distance that exists between me and you. While this desire is energized by it, if intimacy grows through repetition and familiarity, eroticism is numbed by repetition. It thrives on mysterious, the novel, and the unexpected. When coaching men, I often talk about the importance of cultivating mystery when building connection and, bedroom fun escalating with women. Some men really struggle with building mystery because it requires a certain level of quiet confidence that few men possess. Alphas need to work a bit harder at this than Sigma males do. Sigma males tend to cultivate it more naturally due to their off the beaten path approach to life. Another powerful advantage that Sigma males live in the dating marketplace is that they don't care about the social hierarchy. Basically, dominant introverts. That gives them the rebel type of vibe that many women find incredibly attractive. For one, look at the character Han Solo, played by Harrison Ford in the Star Wars movie. It will tell you exactly what I mean. So, 7 traits of a Sigma male. All right, you ready? He doesn't conform to society standards. He's self-sufficient and independent. He doesn't need social circle to thrive. He's adaptable and cunning. He prioritizes his wants and needs. He loves to be alone. He doesn't need attention. So, one of the well-known YouTubers named Anthony Spade is a Sigma. To fully understand the Sigma male archetype, you need to closely examine the most predominant Sigma male traits. My favorite YouTube video on this topic comes from Anthony Spade. So yes, I feel like he does a pretty good job of describing some of the predominant Sigma traits. With that being said, the 5 traits describes both distinguishing personality features of men who fits the Sigma male archetype. Let's talk and jump in about it. Okay, nonconformity. Look at this. These fishes here are all conforming to command. This one here goes against the grain. All above else, the true Sigma male is a nonconformist. He marches to the beat of his own drum. If the crowds are following the path to the right, the Sigma will tend to strike out on his own and go left. There are many reasons to this. Okay, there are many reasons to this. Why this case? Firstly, it's because Sigma male value things different from other men. Almost every other archetype is going to place a priority on how a certain action trend will affect their societal status. But Sigmas are outlier on this front. They systematically rule out pressures and expectations as useless. Their decisions based purely on intrinsic value on what they're pursuing rather than extrinsic value placed upon something by society or the masses. For example, I'm not searching for my other half because I am not a half unknown. Get this, self-sufficiency and independence. Alrighty. Out of your vulnerabilities will come your strength. The Sigma male, perhaps the most self-sufficient of all male archetypes, it is not uncommon for Sigma male to wander or travel. They may not even own a home or an apartment. They may just comfortable with nothing on but a backpack of essentials as they would be with a home of their own. The reason is Sigmas are strong natural survivors. The Sigmas are always lone wolves as they quickly adapt and take care of themselves. Okay. They feed themselves, earn their own money, they pay their own bills, they provide themselves with their own company, nurturing companionship and value in life. If they want something, they go out and get it. If they need something, they find a way to acquire it on their own. They call no other man master. They submit to no one. They don't need a social hierarchy to thrive. To me, this is one of the most fascinating traits of a Sigma. Sigma males are definitely loners. That doesn't mean they never spend time with other people. They may work standard job. They may even spend time with friends, family, or dating partners. We adapt. All these situations require a certain level of assimilation into their respective social dominance. A Sigma male rises to the challenge in a truly effective fashion. Make no mistake about it. Okay, make no mistake, he's also capable of escaping reliance upon these hierarchies. In other words, he may go to work and do his work dutifully, but he's never dependent on his boss, his co-workers' income to maintain his life or happiness. If he grows tired of that specific workplace, walking away is easy for him. If he's well liked, well respected by other members of those hierarchies, he naturally avoids entangling himself in such a way that walking away will be problematic for him. In the nature of Sigma male, he's always ready, willing, able to walk away, strike out on his own. Okay, adaptability. Alright, the most important factor in survival is neither intelligence nor strength, but adaptability. Written by Charles Darwin. Oh, excuse me. Sigma males are highly adaptable by nature. In fact, only sometimes their adaptability is so natural and convincing that they may give off the appearance of true assimilation in a hierarchy. For example, a Sigma male who starts attending Catholic church may want to start to wear a crucifix, carry a rosary, observe Catholic rites. He may even attend events as regularly as any other member of the church. But don't mistake this temporary social participation for permanent assimilation into the hierarchy. This is what makes the Sigma differ from the Alpha. The Alpha male will constantly aware how his action within church will affect his position at the top of the hierarchy. His position within the hierarchy is valuable to him. A Sigma, on the other hand, rejects all notions of climbing the hierarchy. If he assimilates to any degree, it's probably because he finds some measure of personal value in it, or because he wishes to share the experience for his own enjoyment, fulfillment, or benefit. You can also be sure he's capable of walking away from it without a second thought. At some point, he probably will. Self-priority. The Sigma male puts his own dreams and happiness over everyone and everything else. This may sound similar to ideology of an Alpha to a point, but very similar. But there's some profound differences. Alpha male will always prioritize highly valued members of their tribe over themselves. For the Alpha, tribal investment often takes precedence over his own wants, needs, and desires. This is part of the sacrifice of being an Alpha. But a Sigma male rejects the notion of tribal investment will lead to worthwhile benefits. They're also unconcerned with appearance, how they perceived by others. You learn something new? Leave me a comment below, please. Excuse me a moment, please. Okay, I'm back. I had to close the door. Alright. You're much more likely to find a Sigma male alone in his apartment working on his business or his goals. He prioritizes these goals over anything and everything else in life. Alright? Even when he dates, he doesn't date to take care of a woman or enter a typical relationship. He's a free spirit, okay? He dates for enjoyment, novelty, and new experiences. And because he's being bedroom fun with bedroom desires. He's perfectly willing to walk away from a relationship if it ever ceases to be worth an investment to him. This is how Sigma male prioritizes himself at all times. They love to be alone because companionship slows them down. Sigma male often sees companionship as a hindrance to what they truly want in life. Since they care little about how others perceive them, human relationships are often tedious and meaningless to them. For a Sigma, the glaring obvious is that companionship comes with baggage. We will walk away if there's baggage there. But it tends to offer very little or no value to counterbalance this baggage. Sure, Sigmas may develop a few close, intimate friendships that truly enrich their lives. But aside from this, most humans aren't going to be worth their time or effort. Besides, traveling with companions more expensive, requires more effort, and is less efficient. Couple this with the fact that Sigmas are naturally fast moving when motivated, and you will quickly realize most humans can't keep up with them anyways. I have one friend who's Sigma male. He's very careful about how he spends his socialization time. I message him every 2 weeks to see if he wants to hang out. Last time I messaged him, this is how he responded. Hey Josh, what's up? Thank you for the invite, but I'm not ready to meet up just yet. He takes control of his social energy, uses it exactly as he wants to use it. I respect it. We have very fruitful, rewarding friendship as a result. They don't need attention and strive to be invisible. This is perhaps the most misunderstood Sigma trait. Sigma trait actually strive to be invisible. At work, neither need to be desired recognition for their effort or performance. They would rather be left alone to fulfill their own duties in peace. They don't strive to be in the limelight. They don't want people to look at them and think highly or poorly of them. They don't need their good deeds be known or published. They don't want public image. They don't care if anyone recognizes them or not. Why? Because Sigmas are not driven by outside validation or praise. They're loners. The trappings of society and praise of fellow humans hold little or no value for them. Did you know that? I said that Sigma male did not like to have people praise them and stuff. It becomes a hindrance to us. They live majority of their lives in their own mind. They don't travel to other countries to brag about it to a friend. They just likely to travel, return, never mention it to anyone else. They don't publish blog posts because they hope to become famous. They don't publish. They publish because they want to be published for their own creative expression and enjoyment. Perhaps most importantly, don't mistake Sigma's rejection of society as a response being hurt or alienated. That is actually an Omega trait and isn't to be confused with a Sigma behavior. The Omegas they reject society. They were hurt and now shunning themselves or feeling sorry for them. That's Omegas. But Sigmas don't do that. Sigmas don't reject society because they were hurt and now shunning them or whatever. Unlike Omega, Sigmas have not given up on society out of frustration. They reject society for one reason alone. They never cared about it in the first place. Sigma male test, are you a Sigma? I've tried to blend in with the world and society, but the more people I met, the more disappointed I am. So I learned to enjoy myself, my family, and a few good friends. Yep. Figuring out if you're a true Sigma male is a bit difficult than it sounds, because many of us are plugged into our social hierarchies. The idea of existing outside of them is almost impossible to grasp. There are a few questions you can ask yourself that would help you determine whether you're a true Sigma or one in the making. Number one, are you constantly frustrated by society's obsession with the alpha male? That I am, and I really don't give a damn about it. So many similarities between the alpha and the sigma. To the sigma, idea of becoming an alpha would be about a paling ass taking a lemon pie to the face. We don't give a damn about the society or hierarchy. The idea of you going your own way sounds more appealing to you than tribe building and climbing the hierarchy. Then it's likely you're a sigma. Yep. Yep. So there you go. You got it. Are you constantly tempted to go against the grain? That I am. Do you often feel the need to go against the grain just for the sake of going against the grain? Does it irritate you to see people blindly following popular trends? That it does. If you answer yes, then you're born authentic Sigma brand stock. I do go against the grain, okay? Your destiny is not determined by an outside force. It is determined by you and you alone. Do you legitimately enjoy being alone? If you're obsessed by a social, high extroverted, find yourself energized by groups of people, then you're probably not a Sigma. Actually, a Sigma is an introvert. On the flip side, you find yourself energized by solitude, enjoy going off to yourself, doing your own thing, then you're a true Sigma male. Boom. Does socialization exhaust you? Does spending time around other people drain you, your battery? Yes, it does. I'm a Sigma. Would you prefer read a good book, think deeply about your own thoughts, or work alone in your own project? I do that a lot. These are common Sigma male traits that they can manifest into extrovert, introverts, or even ambiverts. Benefits of a Sigma male lifestyle: freedom, attraction, efficiency. There are many benefits walking the path of a Sigma. There are three most compelling advantages choosing to journey through life as a lone wolf. Number one is freedom. The main benefit of living the Sigma male self is freedom. Releasing yourself from a burden of caring about what other people think of you gives you the inner power to live life unapologetically on your terms. This encapsulates many benefits of being a Sigma. And perhaps number one thing true Sigma men care about the most is freedom. Attraction. All right. Women are drawn to the Sigma male archetype for many reasons. First off, Sigma males are always willing to walk away. This is a highly attractive trait to women because it shows that a man is confident and likes himself enough to be content with his own company. This is a serious high value marker that exists opposite side of the spectrum from unattractive traits like clinginess, neediness, and desperation. Very interesting, isn't it? Women are intensely attracted to novelty and mystery. The nomadic Sigma male fits this stereotype perfectly. In fact, the first chapter of a highly acclaimed book, Why Women Have Bedroom Fun by Cindy. Okay. Indeed, a certain amount of mystery can be bedroom fun motivated for women or men for that matter. Not only mystery stoke attraction too much, familiarity can squash it. As one woman said in her bedroom fun memoir, proximity can kill bedroom fun faster than fainting. So I had to use words carefully so to keep from getting a strike. Efficiency. As a Sigma male, you're not bound to usual trappings of society expectation or normal society pressures. Therefore, instead of wasting a bunch of time and money and keeping up with the Joneses, you can live your life on your own terms. Go where you want, move at your own pace, and spend your resources to further your own personal goals and plans. Sigma males aren't dependent upon anyone else's viewpoint and judgment. Therefore, the need to impress other people goes right out the window, allowing them to be 100% genuine and authentic. Drawbacks of being a Sigma male, the drawbacks. They don't have a tribe. They don't care about a tribe. Oh, get this. You need to know this. This is probably number one downside being a Sigma. While it's possible to mitigate this, one forethought and planning is still important to note. There are many benefits of being a part of a tribe: friendship, companionship, safety, and numbers. Having people to help you, take care of you when you are sick, etc. Walking away from the social dominance hierarchy certainly comes with some upside. The biggest downside is exactly the same as the biggest upside. You're alone. For this reason, some Sigma don't see the lone wolf Sigma lifestyle as a long pursuit. These men pursue their wondrous life as young men and then transition back into tribal living as they start to get older. Yes. There are a lot of benefits to having a family, community, a home base, and support network, while dangers of being alone will most likely minimized in our modern culture. They're still present and still a factor. Some Sigmas end up creating their own dominance hierarchy and becoming their own version of an alpha. A perfect example of this man who worked alone in his office or bedroom built his own business. Once he amazed his wealth, he may build a larger company and hire employees to help him. He builds a team, a tribe, so in doing so creates his own dominant hierarchy. He's still free to live a life he wishes, but he has to inherit many of the benefits of being an alpha at the same time. Oh, by the way, the Sigma tribe tend to be very loyal to one another. The journey can be challenging. Learning to grow yourself into a Sigma male can be difficult as some. In fact, Steve Jabba, who probably blogged more about Sigma male mentality than anyone else, talk about this length in the blog post. Sigma male may struggle in their early years, not understand why they're different. They're plugged into society that isn't necessarily kind to those who prefer to go their own way. Many Sigma males grow up feeling depressed, bullied, discarded, and alone. Yes. So, yes. Of course, this begs the question, which came first, bad experience or the Sigma mentality? Did a rough childhood condition you prefer to go your own way as an adult? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Is it possible that bullying or negative interpretation issue is experienced early on in life played a key role in the Sigma male decision to walk away from the hierarchy later on? Personally, I think there are many something to this. I also think there's a blend of nature and nurture. There's a certain part of it you're born with. Studies show that victims of bullying tend to carry wounds from their experience into adulthood. People who are bullied in school, example, tend to have the worst mental and physical health as adults than bullies with kids who were never bullied. Wow. I guess that can play a factor in it. Children who are chronically bullied in their formative years tend to struggle the most as adults. These individuals tend to not only be poor as adults, but less educated and perhaps more noticeable, more isolated. Goodness gracious. This is very, very good to note. This isn't to say your Sigma male tendency being caused by some hidden childhood wound. But everything can happen to hold us significant as we grow adult men and pursue our own destinies. For once again, the famous Sigma males. I referenced Steve Jobs. He created a pretty awesome YouTube video showing some of the well-known Sigma males from pop culture films. It's an interesting list. Here are a couple more I think deserve a mention. Keanu Reeves. He's arguably the most famous real-life example of a Sigma male. Interesting enough, he's a splitting image of a Sigma male in some acting roles like John Wick, for example. He's often shown in interviews acting quiet, humble, and kind. But there's intriguing, alluring confidence behind him screams, "I'm the man." Keanu is famous for saying hush about his personal life. He's the kind of guy who, content with himself, doesn't feel need to brag about his success to others. If you've seen his interviews, you'll know what I mean. To add, Keanu has embraced the Sigma lifestyle so effectively the fans were actually worried about him being lonely at one point in his career. Okay, the Doctor Who. There's a British sci-fi television show, The Adventures of the character called The Doctor. I believe his character ticks all the major Sigma male boxes. He's really tied into the social order hierarchy. He sometimes takes on companions, but has a habit of walking away from them, moving on when time comes to do so. Since he's a Time Lord who regenerates every time he dies, you definitely know what it means to walk away in life alone. He outlasts the people closest to him. He's mysterious, obsessed with his own personal mission, prioritizes life and work over everything else. Harvard, the Vikings. Alright, love the show Vikings. History Channel's historical television created by Michael Hurst. There's one character who strikes me as one of being the best example of a Sigma male I ever seen on screen. His name is Harbert. It's played by Kevin Durant. Harbert's a wanderer who visits the city of Kattegat while the main project is Ragnar Lothbrok is that way at war. He's mysterious, charismatic, talks about how he loves freedom and wandering. He tells fascinating stories and seduces many women of the village. His charm and charisma are often formidable. And despite he holds no official place in the hierarchy. He even beds the king's wife, as she finds him simply too fascinating and tempting to resist. Alright. The Sigma male signs, zodiac signs. Technically, there isn't any true Sigma male zodiac. There's at least a few of these signs that represent Sigma personality quite well. Let's break these signs down and note the key traits aligned with the Sigma mindset. Scorpio. Scorpios are naturally determined, focused on mysterious people. They're passionate about deep thinkers who fearlessly tackle life's problem head on. Just like the Sigma males, they're inherently equipped to lead and make great close friends. Scorpios often seek truth and knowledge. They aren't afraid to perform fierce research on topic of interest to add to their weaknesses, or similar to a Sigma, because they are distrusting and manipulative at times. Here's a Capricorn. Are you ready? Capricorns are confident loners who harbor intense sense of independence. Like the Sigma male, they desire freedom always for dramatic growth in their personal professional lives. Capricorns are masters of self-control. They're well equipped with the lead and make plans. Their weaknesses are interestingly similar to Sigma males, that they are unforgiving towards people who hurt them, but Capricorn always thrive to learn from their mistakes in order to grow. And Leos. They're born leaders. They're known for their passionate, warm-hearted, and confident personality. They're like Sigma males because their leadership trait and their insatiable drive to achieve their goals. Leos are naturally alluring people who, when they put their mind to it, they can accomplish any task. Occasionally, like Sigmas, Leos become self-centered, stubborn, because of their strong self-confidence and their inflexible attitude. Sagittarius. Okay, they don't hold back when they're brutally honest approach to life. Like Sigmas, they love freedom, travel, and philosophical viewpoints that encourage their deep thoughts. Interesting Sagittarius signs like Sigmas aren't fond of clingy people and hate the thought of living a life full of constraints. They are particularly good at turning thoughts and ideas into realities. Additionally, the idealistic nature brings them closer to the Sigma mindset than people often realize. Top 10 Sigma male quotes. Many men consider themselves loners without knowing anything about Sigma lifestyle. So if you consider yourself someone who loves to be alone, check out some of these great quotes from famous lone wolves who thrive in their own solitude. Okay, Frank Kafka, isolation is a way to get to know ourselves. Jean Sartre, if you're lonely, then you are alone. You're in bad company. You cannot be lonely if you like the person you're alone with. That's by Wayne Dyer. Whoever delights their own solitude is either a wild beast or a god, as Aristotle. Anthony Burgess, to be left alone is the most precious thing one can ask in a modern world. Aldous Huxley, the more powerful original a mind, the more of it will incline towards religion of solitude. William Manchester, there are no loners, no man lives in the void. His every act is conditioned by his time and society. Of course, Albert Einstein, y'all remember him? Be a loner. That gives you time to wonder and search for truth. Have holy curiosity, make your life worth living. Author Schopenhauer. All right? A man can be himself alone for as long as he is alone. If he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom. For it is only when he's alone he was really free. All right, remember Nikola Tesla? The mind is sharper and keener in seclusion, in uninterrupted solitude. Originally thriving in seclusion, free outside influence, beaten upon us, cripple the creative mind. Be alone. That secret of the invention, be alone, that when that ideas are born. So, alrighty. So, if you research Theodore Biel, known as Fox Day creator of social hierarchy, you'll discover the rabbit hole is deep, fleshed out, filled with rather controversial ideology and materials. I personally don't agree with the material he puts out, but I do find value in the system, means of observing behavior, come to better understanding who we are in our lives of men. According to the system, there are alpha, betas, deltas, gammas, omegas, and sigmas. So, the classification of sigma male was added later after Vox Day already created the YouTube video, embedded the video toward the beginning that gives his explanation of the archetype. Vox Day is a self-described sigma male. Very interesting, isn't it? Understanding your male archetype can help you understand and develop your strength as quality as a man. I believe it's not mentioned there's some doubts that sexual hierarchy itself we will call perfect, exhaustive, reliable object system of categories for male. It's also fractal, that is highly context independent. Fox Day even pointed out. Even though someone who is an alpha at church may actually be a delta in the workplace, etc. With all that being said, there are numerous benefits applying for sexual hierarchy theory to your own life. I would rather see value in a subjective classification we use as a tool to become more self-aware. All right? This could help us to become successful, effective, high-value men. It could help us understand where and how we tend to fit in and give us an idea about a part of our lives that we could use improvement. All right? It can also serve as a sort of quick resource guide at dealing with other men, as many concepts espoused by Vox Day are actually quite reliable. Especially if you don't try to overthink them or reduce your own opinion of other men to your own personal perception of their obvious archetypes. Okay, conclusion. Sigma male is a fascinating archetype. It is also supposedly the rarest archetype to come across. At the end of the day, I suggest using hierarchies for self-reflection and learning. If we take it too serious, we could pigeonhole one another or worse ourselves in roles that may not be accurate. Remember, the goal is to level up as men and become a better version of ourselves so we can possibly be. If it helps you identify yourself as Sigma, then it's all for the gain. I resonate with the path of the alpha male. This brings me a great deal of clarity and understanding about myself. If you can find resonance and clarity on the path of a Sigma male, then I see it as being a truly worthwhile use of your time. What are your thoughts about Sigma male journey? Follow us on Instagram. Let us know direct message. Okay, the frequent asked questions. The facts. What is a Sigma male personality? A Sigma male personality is a type of personality that doesn't need anything from anyone else. Sigma males are self-sufficient lone wolves who walk their own path in life. They don't follow the crowd. They're confident for themselves, know what they want, don't care what other people think of them because they intentionally unplug from the social matrix. Okay? What are the key Sigma male characteristics? You can tell a Sigma male by his fondness for going his own way, by lack of need for companionships. Sigma males are loners. They reject traditional social dominance hierarchies, focused on almost completely doing their own thing on their own terms, on their own timeline. There are men who have walked away from mainstream society to forge their own individual destinies. They love to be alone with their thoughts, solve problems, and work on their own passion and projects. Are Sigma males attractive? Sigma males are often highly attractive, intelligent, popular with women. For all intents and purposes, they consider to be on par with the attraction level of the alpha males. They tend to be mysterious, adventurous, and charming. All right. So, should INTJs consider themselves a Sigma? They're prime candidates for PAGs. They're introvert. They're doesn't mean that they're going to feel drawn to this. They tend to be high analytical, logical, and creative. They're also great inventors. All right. They also have strong tendency to work alone. So there. Business owner, graphic, computer programming, engineering, copyright, marketer, writing, artist, musician, photographer, scientist. So we're done with this. So we're going to go ahead and well, we already talked about it. We already talked about it. Did you know this? Sigma males, they're bad to the bone. They're lone wolves. Quiet, rebellious, mysterious, independent, self-sufficient, confident. Self-validates, freedom lover, trendsetter, flexible, genuine, emotionally intelligent, secure, attentive listener, free thinker, true leader. Okie dokie. These are look at this. Famous Sigma males: Keanu Reeves, Steve Jobs, Robert Pattinson, Leonardo da Vinci, Giacomo Casanova, David Bowie, James Dean, Harry Styles, Elon Musk. I'm so glad you enjoyed this video. And anyways, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. And go ahead and feel free to listen to the video when you get a chance. Thank you and take care of yourself. Peace.